What is good, everybody? What is good? What is good? Big Game James, man, I'm back in the building. Let's get some tunes on here right quick and let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk about it right quick. I won't hold you long. Just my quick thoughts on the free agency. Cowboys in free agency, a step in the right direction. Is this all in? Is this guy all in on Cowboys? Obviously, we've seen the moves, but you ain't got to look at my face. Let's jump right into some things right quick. Let's get right here. Now I'm gonna go with this first. First, this is what I've been talking about that I've noticed. Since Mike McCarthy has been here, it feels like they have did a little bit some things different for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so I'm gonna say since 2020, there's been a small shift from 2020 on with names to actually speak about. Everson Griffin, a lot of people wanted him, but it didn't work out. A lot of those moves that they were, really didn't seem like it went all out in a lot of moves to me. But I'm just gonna show you this right here. Look at 2018. No. 2019 and Randall Cobb was the biggest one. But look at when Mike McCarthy came. Gerald McCoy, they traded for Everson Griffin, got Don Terry Poe. We were excited about these moves. Greg Zuerlein, he was a name at the time. And Clinton Dix, even though he hadn't had the greatest, but he was still consistent. I mean, he was still a decent one-year signing. Next year, you got Keanu O'Neal, Terrell Basham, not a big name. J. Ron Curse, not a big name, but Curse and Basham, especially Curse. Curse really hit it off. Keanu O'Neal was a name. Didn't really work out, but he had a decent year this past year with this. I don't know. I can't remember the team. And then you got Dante Fowler last year, and now this year, we'll go right over here. I'm going to back up right here. Sorry about that. So, this is what I said. I'll say it again. We're seeing a small shift in what we've seen in free agency with these couple guys. Now you just recently seen Gilmore and Brandon Cooks, and we'll talk about that here in a second. I lost my hands. Then I said I'm with the Brandon Cooks trade. I'm with it. And then I said all you got to do is bring back Jonathan Hankins, Dante Fowler, BPA in the draft. I'm Gucci. Feel me? I ain't asking for much. I'm Gucci on that one right there. So, you feel good about that one. So, let's jump over here. So, right now, these are the guys, Cowboys, they like signing their own, right? That's what Stephen Jones said. He said, we're going to sign our own. We're going to draft. We're going to build through the draft. We're going to sign our own. And we're going to, get some free agents that might help here and there. But we ain't going to spend a lot of money on free agency. We ain't going to go crazy. Even in these trades, even in who they got, they didn't go crazy. So Connor McGovern, gone. Donovan Wilson, back. You see the deal that he signed, $21 million. A really good deal for the Cowboys. Totally. Real good deal for the Cowboys. I'll say one thing about the front office. They know how to work their hand and they know how to make them deals. I definitely will say that. We know they don't like to go on that cheap side, but they make them deals. And it keeps them in a good place. So if they want to sign a CD Lamb, they want to sign a Trevin Diggs, they want to sign a Michael Parsons, they're going to be in a good place to do it. None of them deals that they made hurt them. All right, obviously, you see LVE coming back. 26, 27. Cowboys average age, 26 years old. A very good deal for the Cowboys with Lake Manderesh. Cooper Rush, back in the fold, signing their own. Luke Gifford walks. Noah Brown walks. Jake McQuaid walks. CJ Goodwin stays. So that's 4 Cowboys who've been in the program that are being brought back. Now, I brought this list up because these are the few players I would love for them to see them bring back. Obviously, we know Ezekiel Elliott's gone. Dalton Schultz is playing. They offered him some money. He still keep trying to bet on himself, dog. Just come on back to Dallas and let him give you some money and come on back here so they ain't got to jump out there and grab a tight end. Let you start again. Let them young bucks keep cooking. And come on back, Dalton Schultz. Ain't nobody tripping on you, dog. Come on back. Anthony Brown, you saw them sign Gilmore so that you could see him being a possible cut, especially if you could save some money. Him and Jordan Lewis, we'll see what happens with both of those guys. I said I'd be cool with him coming back as a backup. Don't hate me. Dante Fowler, not saying it's a must signing, but hey, he's 28 years old. He's still got a lot of stuff in the tank, I believe. Had 6 sacks last year in a very short amount of snaps. Was one of the top pass rushers on the team in those short snaps. Bring him back. I think he wants to come back. I think you can definitely work out a money deal. I think you need to definitely bring Dante Fowler back. It definitely just helps the team. Can't have enough of them. Anthony Barr, he's probably gone. Jason Peters, he's 41. I'd rather not. Jonathan Hankins is another must signing to me. I wanted him 2 years ago. He finally got in the fold. You need to re-sign him. You can make it happen, Cowboys. I know y'all can make that money work with him and Fowler. Those are two guys I want to see come back. Carlos Watkins, Matt Overton, Brett Maher, he did his thing. You know how field goal kickers are. I don't really care about a field goal kicker, so it could happen. T.Y. Hilton, hey, if the money's right, come on back, T.Y. Ain't nothing wrong with T.Y. coming back in the building if the money's right. Rico Dowdell, I like to see your boy from Florida do his little thing, but we'll see. So that's just kind of the kind of looking on that, right? So all right, so let's get to these trades right quick, man. So Cowboys, I said the Cowboys, the topic is, are they all in right now? Are they all in? So let's read a little bit of this. So right now, this is the grade from Pro Football Focus. Okay. They got a lot of information. Don't check out the grades. If you don't look at the grades, PFF is a dog. Their information is ridiculous. But here it is. Additions: Stephen Gilmore, Brandon Cooks. Re-signings: LVE, Tony Pollard, Donovan Wilson, C.J. Goodwin. Losses: Connor McGovern, Ezekiel Elliott, Noah Brown, Luke Gifford. Gilmore has been one of the best quarterbacks in football since moving on to New England. And he reconfirmed that with impressive showing at Indianapolis in 2022, playing just 304 snaps, and with the Carolina Panthers in 2021. Since 2017, his 92.8 coverage grade is the highest among all cornerbacks to play at least 1,000 snaps. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that you love about the deal with Gilmore, right? You got a bona fide number 2 alongside of Trevin Diggs. Hopefully you resign him, but you have a guy that's had a very good season at Indianapolis. We obviously know he's not the player that he used to be. He's 32 years old, going on 33. We know that. But he's a stopgap. After this year, you can let him go and move on. So you can still definitely draft your corner of the future. You got Deron Bland in the fold. You got Izzy Mukamu. I've been said that Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn Wright, the lights are on you because you guys could be cut. So this is going to be the step-up area, right? But you can still draft a corner or two in this draft and have your guys ready for next year. That's why I say, is this the Cowboys all in? Because this seems like you got a bona fide number 2 with your number 1. You got Deron Bland. You got Izzy Mukamo. You feel good. You re-signed Donovan Wilson. You got Malik Hooker for one more year, and you got Jaron Kearse. They said they may be working on a deal with him. So your whole back end solidified, right? So is that an all in? Could be, because you got a dog on the other side, right? So then you come down here. We see with Vander Esch coming back. We know what he does. Off-ball linebacker when healthy. Plays very well sideline to sideline. Coverage great. He can cover. And that's why I said it's important to get Hankins back, because when he was clean, he played better. Donovan Wilson, you see where he says right here, does his best close to the line of scrimmage. 37 defensive snaps, led all safeties last year with a Pro Football Focus grade of 87.1. We ain't tripping on that. But here's the thing. He led the position with 13 total pressures, including 5 sacks. And he's not a liability in coverage as well. Because if you looked at the beginning of his career, he was playing more free safety than strong safety. Everybody was saying, play strong safety, but he played the free safety too. And he played it pretty well. So here you go with Brandon Cooks. Obviously, we know what Cooks brings to the table, but here's the thing. You didn't break the bank on him too. Okay, Houston said they pay $6 million of that salary. You gave up a 5th and a 6th rounder. Your 2 compensatory 5th round picks you gave up for Stephen Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. They said they wanted to make a deal like that. We wanted B-Hop. I wanted OBJ. I wanted either one of those guys. It was cool. But Brandon Cooks was still in the fold, and they tried to get him last year, but they weren't taking on that money. So they waited. They got him for the cheaper deal. And just like Gilmore, after this year, you can release him. So is this all in? It sounds like it to me. And their version of all in, this sounds like a version of all in to me. Because on your offensive side, they said, we need some weapons. CeeDee Lamb said we need something. And we look at Brandon Cooks, and we'll go to this right here. This is from John Oney, our very own John Oney. We know about him. He's been in the studio. He's been on the show. Been on there many times. And you know he does great work on Twitter. But this is what he's talking about right here, Brandon Cooks. And then you can see right here, 4.33 speed. Let me back that up. 4.33 speed. That's what he brings, right? And you see he can work inside. He can work outside. So he's multifaceted. You can play him in the slot. You can play him outside. He can do damage either way. But the thing is, he gives you that speed element that the Cowboys been lacking. And you can see it right here. Here's some more numbers right here. And I think catches over 30 yards plus, he's like top 3, you know, and I got the you can go check that on the page, but you can see right here, Brandon Cooks, most 1,000 yards since he's been in the league. I mean, he's got 6 of them. I mean, it's a pretty good thing. And let's see right here, you can see what he does. This is what he does right here. Not just that route running, but that I'm telling you, that release and that quick get up on you. I call it the get up on you. Get up on you quick.
Yards on paper.
See what I'm saying? That right there. That get up on you. See that right there? That right there. And then that get up on you right here. See, Dallas don't have that. That's what Dallas lacks. Okay, see, Dallas lacks that. You feel me? That's the biggest thing. I'm gonna show that again. That's what Dallas lacks. Like CeeDee Lamb can work that underneath in that slot. You can get your boy Michael Gallup on the long ball, but he's more that 50-50 guy. He can still get up there and get it. This is what Dallas has been missing right here. That element right there. Get off me. Right? And you can see it down here. See what I mean? That's that speed element, right? Look at that get off. And look how he eats up that cushion quick. He eats it up quick. Guys are fearful. Then he gets it. You can see him up here. He eats up that cushion. And Dallas has been wanting him for a while, right? Dallas has been wanting him for, a nice little bit. And one thing about Dallas, when they like you, they come back around and get you. We've seen it time and time again for them liking players in the past or liking them in the draft and they couldn't get them then. They will keep their eye on you. And if you're available later, they will come get you later. And that's one thing about the Cowboys. So he had always been on their radar, but it looks like they were waiting for the best time to get him money-wise, right? And then, but you're getting these players like this. But let me go to the all-in because I'm about to close like this. And let's go right here. Let me pull up this. Brandon Cooks, 1,000-yard season since 2015. There's only been what? And Amari Cooper's in this. Mike Evans, Travis Kelce, Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, 1,000-yard seasons. Only Travis Kelce and Mike Evans have more. And both of them are pretty good, all right? They're pretty good. So I like this trade for the simple fact that the Cowboys didn't spend no money like they wanted, so they can save their money to sign their stars later on. Hopefully that's the thinking. You got 2 bona fide, really good players, not on the high end of their careers, but they're still in a good area where you can feel like they can contribute and really help you get over the hump for what you need, right? So that's why I'm saying this could be the Cowboys all in. Because if we look on the offensive side, you got Tony Pollard, who you re-signed. We want him to get better. You can go in the draft. You can get a BPA with the players you got now, right? But you got an opposite receiver. You got a speed guy who you've been wanting. And he is legit, and he's done it well with guys who aren't even been great quarterbacks with the influx of the rotation of quarterbacks in Houston. And he still had good years, right? So you get excited about that. You got a CeeDee Lamb. You got a Michael Gallup who should be better after the second year on the ACL. Now you got a bona fide stud in speed and Brandon Cooks, and he's a guy who can really work a lot of things on you. And then Jalen Tolbert, who's your second year player, you got high hopes for him, and he can step up and be a better player in this second year. You got your tight ends and Dalton Schultz, who could come back now, but you still got Hendershot, Ferguson, and then McEwen. Don't hate on him. Your offensive line, you definitely can draft an offensive lineman or two, right? So you can do a lot of good things right there. But when I see that, I see all in. Let's make it happen. Mike McCarthy got his way, got Kellen Moore gone. That wasn't the Joneses. That was Mike McCarthy wanting that to happen. Mike McCarthy wanted that. So to me, that's all in. He got what he wanted, got his staff the way they wanted. They got you a defensive stud, a guy on the defensive side for Dan Quinn, and they got your guy on the offensive side. So they got guys that can complement both of your coaches. So to me, that's an all in for the Cowboys in that aspect of we're getting you what you want. So we're trying to go show you we're kind of going all in because we got rid of the coach. We got you an offensive defensive player that you said you needed. We can go into the draft and get BPA, and we got guys we can sign for our stars in the future. So, and you can have another good draft, and then this could be a draft that could propel you. And you got guys that are coming back in year two that are going to be really good, and it's going to be a lot of pressure on these rosters. But there ain't going to be really no excuses because I feel like they gave you everything that you needed as far as what you want to do, in my opinion. So, in that aspect, I feel like it is all in for the Cowboys in that aspect for me. Just for me. Now, let me get a couple more things out of here. We're talking about the draft. So when I was saying BPA, you definitely need to get that offensive lineman now, right? You re-sign Hankins, you feeling good on that defensive line. That's why he's a must signing, because you can go BPA. And I just got some offensive linemen up here. There's a lot of good guys, tackles, guards. This is a draft you can scoop up. These are some names right here, right? These are some names you can scoop up, especially at 26, right? And then you got a smaller receiver in Brandon Cooks, so that means you can probably get a smaller receiver in the draft and not trip, right? But this is a great draft for you to be able to really load up on depth and BPA and get some fire players. And I think this is the draft to do it, especially when you address some things. We had a show on Burgers and Blitzes when me and Mike White was talking, and he said, man, if we could just get a receiver, I like everything we did, but if we could just get a receiver, it'll make me feel better than us and I have to really put that pressure on another young rookie. And so now you have it solidified in CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and a Michael Gallup who's a vet. So it brings Tolbert along slowly. You feel good about him because I said I thought he would be better in year two, and then you can go ahead and get you a bona fide nice guy in the draft too. So from that aspect, I like what the Cowboys have done. I have been saying from A1 day one, I don't hate on what the Cowboys do as far as building through the draft, signing their own with those shrewd contracts. I just said let's get a player or two. Although these aren't those upper echelon guys, I think these guys, in my opinion, are enough for your team because your team was talented enough to win in the playoffs the last couple of years with its talent alone. You got to keep adding the talent. If you lose talent, you got to add to it. And these two players and the guys that you're bringing back in the fold make this team better. And that's what I like. So just my quick thoughts on it. And Cowboys in free agency, in my aspect, this is a kind of all in. So I kind of like to see what they're going to do. So kudos to the front office. Kudos to Baby Nut Jones. Hey, I call you that, but maybe they dropping a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see. Like I said, we're going to see how it goes and what happens. But that's just kind of my thoughts on free agency. We'll be going live, I believe, Wednesday for our call-in show again. So we'll have your thoughts when I'm going to ask you guys what your thoughts are on the Cowboys. And are they all in? You'll be able to get that off your chest Wednesday on a live call-in show. So make sure you check that out. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you feel. Do you think this is an all-in strategy by the Cowboys in these terms? What's your kind of thoughts? Let me know. Let me know how you feel, and we'll be talking to you soon. Big Game James.